Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to Everything Meta. Today we have with us Ty of Flash Tools. We're going to have a little roundtable. Ty's going to answer some questions. We're going to learn about Flash Tools. Ty, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. Feel free to shoot and ask any questions you want. We've been around for quite some time now and only getting back into it now, watching the market and seeing the NFT industry move a little bit more now since the big dip a couple of months ago.
Cool. Well, let's get right into it. Again, thank you, and thank you, Joey. What is FlashScanner?
Ty, you there?
Ty says, I want no parts of these questions.
Is he coming back in? Is he coming back in? Well,
yet.
Guys, until he comes back in, from what I know, Flash is the most advanced NFT scanner and sniping tool that exists on ETH for the time being. A little while ago, he was explaining to me the difference. You know, there was another NFT sniping tool that was coming out, and he was mentioning how it's just a method sniper. It's just a standard mempool sniper. And he started to explain how the Flash project was going to provide a node and bypass the mempool to snipe specific NFTs. And so like what this can do essentially is the Flash scanner would scan the metadata, right, of the entire NFT collection. And let's say there's like that legendary one of one that is placed into the collection at number 78, number 78. You could set up your sniper and outgas anybody that's trying to buy number 78. All right. So when people start minting, basically it will automatically mint that legendary NFT. We ran the scanner on I think the Neko NFTs just as like a test run, just to kind of showcase what the Flash team is all about and everything. And it was pretty cool. He's like, oh yeah, like the one of one, the Science DAO NFT is right there. It's so he's just set up his tool to basically buy that one, when it became available, when the number finally transpired. Is Ty coming back?
Well, I don't see him popping up here, but you're doing great acting as Ty for the time being.
I don't know that much about the project, to be honest. Like I do, but I don't know the finer details, and I'm not sure. Hold on, let me get him back in here.
Sure.
Okay, and so I don't know that much about the finer details, but I just messaged him. He's coming back, I think. So we'll see if he makes his way back.
He wasn't ready for that big "what is Flash Scanner" question. Let's see.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what Flash enables you to do. I think is that like if there is a specific legendary NFT or some very specific trait that you want, it pre-scans everything and gets you back in there. Ty,
Hello.
You're back.
Sorry about that. That was that just me?
It was, yeah.
Oh shoot, sorry.
You're good.
No idea.
I tried my best. So what I was talking about was our experience with the Neko NFTs, right? And how you were able to use the Flash tool, the tools that you guys are developing to find specifically where the most rare NFTs were, and then you're able to set your your system up to just automatically buy it, right?
That's right.
And I guess the difference, we were talking a while back about how there's some other method snipers and mempool NFT type snipers versus what Flash is offering. So I'll step back. I was just trying to fill in, guys, while we lost.
Sorry. Thanks, Joey. So the first main tool that we built is called the Flash Scanner. Now, this is what we call a live real-time partial scan, right? So it scans on partial reveals. Okay. Now, there's nothing like this in the industry at the moment, because most everything waits for the entire reveal of an NFT project before initiating the scan and ranking of all of the trades. So because of this live real-time scan, we can actually have access to the rankings of NFTs by their traits even before the whole rest of the market, because they're waiting for the complete data to be revealed first. Okay. And this is due to a couple of the secondary market NFT marketplaces being really inefficient. And we're talking, OpenSea as the main one. They're pulling trait data from third-party cloud storage websites. And because it's so inefficient, it can get congested, and it takes so long for that data to be revealed. So we actually pull it directly from those sources, and through some of the stuff we do in the back end, we are ranking it and exposing that data live. So let's say that there's an NFT collection of 10,000 NFTs, and during the first 5 minutes, only 2,000 to 3,000 can be revealed, right? And it takes half an hour to reveal all 10,000, right? Within the first few minutes, we're already able to rank with just a small sample size of 1,000 or 2,000 NFTs, pull that data, pull that information, allowing a user to essentially have information before the rest of the market. Within that first 1,000 or 2,000, you might already have a top 10 rank NFT there that no one else knows about. You might be able to see that already. And so you're basically able to purchase or essentially snipe these NFTs a lot sooner or earlier than the rest of the market can. So,
awesome. That's good. So how many NFTs need to be in a particular set in order for you to accurately predict
it's
value?
a good question. The only true accuracy of ranking system is when the full information is available, right? So when all 10,000 NFTs are there. But with relative accuracy, at least we can rank, with even just 1,000, you're likely to be able to pick out the top rarities in that already, in that 1,000. So let's say there's 10 unique NFTs in a collection, right? They're the top 10 most valuable NFTs. In a collection of 10,000, right, you would expect to have at least find one of them within the first 1,000 scans, right? Just based on probability. Yeah. So, assuming in the first couple of minutes that holds true, you should be able to at least find one top 10 legendary NFT using our tool within the first couple of minutes before anyone else. Now, the real question then is, who's going to be able to purchase it first? And that becomes, between anyone who's holding a flash pass and who's using our tool, whoever essentially puts more gas, or whoever clicks faster, or whoever does whatever, to get ahead. So that's the Flash Scanner, and that's really what our signature tool has been. And it's basically helped so many people get ahead of the game, especially on a reveal. And it is very specific tool. It is specifically for reveals.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing that I will say is throughout this entire time that I've been in the small little Flash Alpha group, I've seen them consistently work together on revealing NFTs and getting the best NFTs. I think in that group, like out of the most recent super hyped NFT collection, I think that came out was the Goblin one.
Yeah.
And you guys had like hundreds of goblins, I think, right? Like just, yeah. So out of any of these projects out there where there's dev teams that are like working to try to bring value to the people that are involved in the project, I have actually seen the Flash project bring a ton of value to the people that are using the tool.
It's
Yeah. So.
It's exactly right. And the thing about the tool is it's not part of mainstream, you know, NFT, like celebrity crypto Twitter guys. You know, they don't know about it, and they're not, you know, promoting it. You know, this is built from us. You know, we're just users. We're just guys, average guys, right? And because they're not backing it and promoting it, it means that you're not like following suit with just whatever people are dictating. And that's the key here. So you can actually use this tool to scan things like goblins, which was a stealth launch. No one knew about it, right? And because no one knows about it, there's no big celebrities or crypto Twitter guys promoting it, then no one is actually scanning it. So no one actually is ranking it either. So our tool is perfect for those situations where it's complete stealth and you just have no mainstream tool and you just need something to actually rank and find information right away. So we can scan anything. We can scan, you know, whatever on market, you know, that just gets released.
I mean, and that was an incredible amount of value, I thought, right? Like it was a stealth NFT launch with some hidden super secret team that inevitably, you know, obviously knows what they were doing, right? Like they had a good strategy. Whether things just, you know, circumstance just allows them to catch on and catch fire, but you guys grabbed like hundreds of those things, you know, and those are like 20 ETH per goblin.
I think it went up to pretty high. A lot of us sold around 7 to 8.
I don't blame you. You know, you never know.
Yeah. We kept some, but I mean, there was some big wins in that one. In that project particularly.
Yeah. Man, I can't, you know, the stuff that you come up with. Well, okay, so the team, right? This is like, you guys are all NFT enthusiasts and you're all developers. Like you kind of just put your heads down and you're just developing tools that people can use that make that give them kind of a cheat code. Like I think if anything, right? Like the Flash tools is basically like a cheat code. And you saw this last year, NFTs catch on like all over the place. And imagine like with Flash, you basically have a tool to be like way ahead of anybody else, basically, right? So
we're very excited about it, and to be honest, when we build it, because we're a team of devs, we're not necessarily going outside our group. You know, the people that we hire are people we know, we work with, and you can see, you know, it's been 7 months and we're still around just hanging out and developing. So it's not like we're running out of money to budget, you know, because we're ourselves. That's the biggest advantage in most, like, that we have over most actual tech projects, is that people are hiring outside or outsourcing development work to other countries and etc. And they need to pay that money. So eventually, you know, that's going out somewhere. If you're not producing revenue, because right now, obviously the market's kind of down, right? So the NFT market's down. We don't even have the token live for the last, you know, few months, the version 1 Flash. How could we sustain and continue? Well, I mean, this is baseline. You know, this is evidence to show you guys that no matter what happens, we don't really go anywhere, because we are the asset. The value in the business and this project is the team, and it's not actually, you know, the money or anything like that. You know, so I think that's one of the biggest points to acknowledge, is that, you know, where we will be by the end of this year, no one knows. You know, we have some big dreams and big ambitions, but it's not going to cost us a lot to get there, is what I'm saying, you know, because it's all in-house.
Right. Yeah, that's a huge advantage, right? It's like a bunch of developers get together, they know what they want to build. Even if you have a business or a day job, right? Like you can still build and still improve and make improvements on the protocol or the tools or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
So
and a lot of people have been asking me, you know, why are you taking so long to relaunch and things? We have to apologize, definitely. We are anxious and we want to launch as soon as possible, definitely. But this is for the best interest of everyone, especially we look after our version 1 holders, and also who has given us faith since the very beginning. And we also look after the newcomers version 2, right? So there has to be this balance between when we design the relaunch and get back into the market as well, because there's no denying that our project is very much linked to the NFT industry, right? Yes, we have a fulcrum that we're establishing. There's a token balance there between NFT and crypto, but at the same time, if there isn't a thriving NFT market, then our tool, which is designed to assist people in NFTs, is not going to have that natural growth of the industry to leverage off. So we are waiting patiently for when we believe the market is coming back around, and also when NFTs are going to be back, as a mainstream topic. Because let's be honest, they've been hurt over the last few months significantly, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of money has been sucked out of the market by Yuga Labs and the Bored Ape group. So it's a bit of a hard time for everybody. But having said that, I think it is looking more positive now. So that's why we're here. That's why we're talking. That's why we're getting ready.
Yep. So, Ken, you got something? I saw you started there.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to kind of go through some of the other elements from the white paper from the website. You just say a few words about each of these projects or sub projects, if you will. What is FlashBidder?
Sure. So the FlashBidder is everything out after the scanner is things that we are working on right now. So if anyone has been following us since version 1 knows that we originally came out with 4 to 5 tools that we wanted to build. In the process of using these tools, we're now combining them individually. Combining these individual tools to become more powerful tools, right? So the FlashBidder is the combination of the previously known spammer tool and the sniper tool. When you combine these two tools that we have been using, you create a new tool which we're calling the FlashBidder. Now this is an automated trading tool. So the spammer tool that we used before would make multiple bids on offers as much as we wanted, but you'd have to be there to actually do that, and it was quite mundane. So you have to set the rules and all that kind of stuff and sit there and then target a whole 100 NFT IDs, token IDs, and then run the bid, and then it would just make bids on all 100 of them, right? But that was repetitive, and it was quite painful, and you have to be there. But the sniper allows you to set rules so you can go to sleep. So whenever the floor price or your rule set changes, and it's like, okay, so I set the gold mask for whatever collection, as soon as it drops below 1.5 Ethereum, I'd like to make a bid on all of them, right? So you run that, you go to sleep, it drops down to 1.4 overnight, and then you bid on 100 of those, and then hopefully you pick up one in the morning when you wake up. Yeah, so that's what the FlashBidder is. It's got some advanced customizations which we're trying to experiment with at the moment, like only choosing lowered listings, right? So and also choosing things which have no recent bids. Okay, this is really important, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but long story short, they help you identify more relevant bids. So you don't just spam bids on things that people are not interested in selling, right? But if you look at a trait, an NFT that is currently lowering its listing price constantly, and you select that as your customized target rule, then you end up only bidding on the ones that continually have people lowering the price, right? Because they're more likely to accept your bid.
Is this like the start of AI? It sounds like it's getting smarter, right?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely getting smarter, and that's entirely the FlashTrader platform, which we can talk about later. But that's where we're heading towards, and it's going to take a long time to get. I'll be honest, it will take a while to get to the actual FlashTrader platform. But to get there, you need to take these steps where you're setting up rules and you're learning from the data, and then you're putting that data back into the project again from what you learned. So AI and machine learning takes a very long time. Hundreds of thousands of data points are needed, which is basically what I do in the real world. So, we are on that path, but I'm not going to say it's going to happen, in the next few months. AI and machine learning takes, quite some time.
Yeah.
With that said,
Bill,
go ahead.
we're working on an AI project, right, for the science now, and gathering the data. I mean, it's basically a data company, right? But I will say one thing: never underestimate a lazy genius, right? Because they will figure out a way to make things really easy for them.
That's right. That's exactly the Bill Gates, the Microsoft mantra, isn't it? If you want something done, give it to the laziest person in your company, because they'll find a way. They'll make it as efficient as possible.
I love how after everything you're like, so you can go to sleep.
Yeah, that's exactly. This entire toolkit is what we built for ourselves.
Yeah.
So, you can hear it. Exactly my point. We built this for us. So whether people use it or they don't use it, doesn't really bother us. We're just going to keep building and working on it, and it's going to be a fun process. So I have enjoyed waking up and having any one of my bids just trigger and purchase overnight. I mean, sometimes I actually continue to dip, and I purchased a bit high, but doesn't really matter. It shows that it's working.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you're just building this for yourself, right? What it's done, at least from what I've seen over the last however many months now, was that you were able to find these stealth NFT launches like the Goblin ones, right? And maybe utilize the tools to automatically place bids or whatever it might have been. Everybody might have just been grabbing as many as possible, right, at a really low price. But so that's cool. I mean, so I think if by demonstrating, like in the alpha chat, or even just for yourselves, building these tools for yourself, you've been able to generate a significant amount of value utilizing your strategies here that you're essentially building for everybody to use. Even if they don't use it, you're still going to be generating value.
It's true. I mean, it doesn't matter if people use it or not, to be honest. Because even with the FlashBidder, when we actually make it commercially released, there are so many strategies you can use it for. There's so many use cases, right? You can use it for things that you want, like you have an attachment aesthetically to a certain trait, or you can use it to flip, or you can use it to just get like one and then sell it the next day and then do the same thing, or rinse and repeat on the same NFT. Like there's so many strategies you can do, right? It's basically, as you said, different to everyone, and it will help anyone and everyone in whatever ways they want to, maneuver the NFT industry. So very cool tool. The Sniper, let's talk about that. I can see it on screen. Yeah. The Sniper is very powerful. I'll just say that. It's a combination between Listener and the Sniper tool that we've been using. So it's basically an autonomous snipe. It's a purchase based on set rules that you have, similar to the bidder, but this is an actual purchase. The reason this is different to the bidder is the bidder doesn't commit you to the amount of money right away. Okay, so based on that, you don't necessarily need access to seed and things like that, right? Sure. But to actually run the Sniper, you need to have a deeper connection. So we need the seed or tokenization in order to be able to give you that fast automation. So it's definitely something that you'd have to be comfortable using. In a way, it is a bot, and so you are connecting your wallet directly. Yeah. So we always recommend just making multiple wallets anyway when you're using any of our tools, especially if the ones that are for instant purchase, like the Sniper. So super powerful tool, and it involves automated gas settings and things like that, just to make sure that you can get in ahead of other people.
Right. And so one of the things you're saying, right, is make a new wallet for each mint potentially, right? If you're sniping something, because we've seen this whole free mint meta go on, and I've seen actually several people that got completely drained, right? And they're like, what happened? What did I connect to? And the first thing I ask them, usually, this is not to, fud the free mints out there or anything, but first thing I ask them, I'm like, well, were you doing any free mints lately? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. There's a lot of security issues in Web3, and right now it's a bit unregulated in the sense that, people can just grab code off the internet and plug it in straight away without really understanding it. And what they're doing is mixing and matching things around. And maybe they're not even trying to be malicious at all. They're just mixing and matching code as to the best of their understanding, right? But there are exploits in those codes because the people who create them and provide them online already understand where the backdoor exploits are, and they know how to get in if needed in the future. And so they've done that intentionally to give it out there for people to use so that in the future they can always come back and whenever they want and just exploit.
Damn.
It's really, really tricky. And that's why we always recommend new wallets for sure. Even if we've spent a lot of time on security, we spend a lot of time on making sure that our backend is solid and we cannot be, exploited or hacked. And if you're in our Discord, you understand the level of security that we take. We have a cybersecurity analyst in our admin team in our Discord who has done everything possible to avoid it ever being hacked. So, and he's constantly updating and checking bots like every month. So, we do take absolute security measures to make sure that our guys don't get done. And that's what you get, I guess, with the Flash Pass. So
that's super cool.
Part of that community.
That's super respectable. Like for our Neko project, obviously we have Ryan, who's a professional pen tester. It's always having some level, so at least somebody in the group that is like a professional cybersecurity person or a professional pen tester, because you are putting things out and we see stuff that happens all the time. So, like just today, right? There's a Solana thing happening right now. Yesterday was the Nomad thing. All sorts of stuff happens all the time. So, but all these mints that people are sniping, right? Like in their sleep or whatever it might be, like making a new wallet because maybe it's set up to snipe something that could have an exploit or, whatever, right? So making a new wallet each time is probably a good school of thought or.
Yeah, definitely. Later down the track in the platform, we'll assist with that, where we will be able to help you, create your own wallets, and we'll be able to do that through the platform as well, and then have all that automatically connected. But yeah, so it's a good segue into the Minter, definitely. So the FlashMinter is a highly advanced tool. It's dangerous. No, it's the best, but it's really dangerous. It's really dangerous because if you are setting your gas settings wrong, you can actually lose money. You can lose Ethereum or whatever crypto you're using. So it's quite a dangerous tool. It's basically automating the minting process. So yeah, again, while you're sleeping, if they're launching the mint, you're not going to be around, right, to buy it. So you need to run the process, run the bot. But it is dangerous because you're setting a threshold, what we call a threshold of gas. So you're always going to go above that, right? So whatever that variable is, that threshold is, if someone sets like 10 Ethereum for gas, and you're trying to beat that, right? You're going to go 10.5 or something, and that's just ridiculous to purchase, right? So yeah, it's a bit of a dangerous tool for sure. But it's there, and if people want to use it for certain hype launches, then they should do the research, or maybe join the Discord and talk to other people and ask them, all right, what kind of gas levels are you setting? Chat to others. There's a community there. Learn and grow together, I guess. Yeah, so definitely something that I'm keen. It's not so thriving right now with all the lack of launches, but it will come back. I'm pretty sure.
Super cool.
Yep.
And just for the audience, right, that doesn't quite understand, because your level of understanding is like pretty, you're like an expert. Okay, and so when he says outgassing somebody, right? If you're trying to mint an NFT in the same block as somebody else trying to mint that same NFT, right? Especially if there's a lot of activity on the network. It's going to come down to your priority settings, right, and your overall budget. And so that when he says somebody else is paying 10 ETH in gas to mint an NFT, and the FlashMinter is set to outgas somebody else, you will mint that NFT before them, right? However, it's going to cost. It'll automatically spend more gas than they're spending. Okay, so that's probably right. That's just to break it down a little bit. For 'em.
Yeah, very similar to the front-running bots that are on altcoins and meme coins. It employs a very similar type of code. Cool. Threshold. Yeah. Without going into much detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So onto the FlashTrader platform. Yeah. Thanks for these cues. This is a bit of a dream of my ambition that we've had since last year. It's been a year now, actually, when we had this first original idea of the Trader platform. And we understand the steps necessary to build it. This is actually the goal and the vision. And to reach it, there are some steps we're going to take first, which is build some tools, build a community around that, grow our user base, establish what people like to use in the tools, and then bring them together into a platform. And that's really the culmination of, we're hoping to get tens of thousands, maybe 100,000 users on the platform at some point. And it is a community. It's a platform where people will be able to purchase, trade, automate, get tools. Yeah, it's a full-blown platform. One of the biggest things in that platform, and I can see it'll come up a bit later, is the tracker, which is something we find as necessary and currently missing in the market right now. An NFT tracker is just a valuation of your own portfolio. There are some tools out there at the moment, so you know exactly what your floor price NFT values are.
Cool.
But the tracker is a bit more advanced than that, and it will be in collaboration with one of our partnership affiliates, Onchained, NFT Onchained, where they use a fair value estimate of all NFT of all NFTs that they're monitoring. So it's pretty advanced stuff there.
I love this. It kind of sounds like when you list a token on CoinGecko, right, and then finally you can see the price, right, in your wallet.
Yeah, it's in your wallet.
I feel like with this, right, with the trader or the tracker, excuse me, it gives you that fair value, like floor price of your portfolio, so then you can see what each NFT is worth automatically. And if you're
100%.
right, and if you combine it with the scanner, and it's getting sort of like an aggregate of all the NFTs out there and sort of what they're worth, all in kind of one place, and then your value sort of populates immediately.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's precisely it. And I think I'm glad that you announced the CoinGecko example there, because the Flash Tracker we want it to be that kind of milestone for other NFT projects.
Yeah.
Our platform, hopefully one day, will be a place where people go to find, useful information, right? And the Flash Tracker, once a new NFT project hits the tracker and has established its value on the tracker, people may refer to it like the DEX tools or the CoinGecko, or it's currently there now. We know what the value is. Yeah. Right. And it could be the source of truth for some people as a measure of value, of fair value.
Cool.
And I'm hoping that can, bring.
I got the chills.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Because I mean, we need to know the value of our wallets. Right. And right now you got like a ton of NFTs in there, some are dead projects, and some you don't know that might be, on its way back up. Right. And you want to see that happening.
Well, I love this because so especially with the little AI ML angle to it, eventually, like obviously it would take some time, but like we were talking with a project that measures sentiment inside of Discord groups, right?
Mhm.
It's an AI project, and how can you apply, like, let's say that there's like an artist that only puts out like one NFT, right? Or like pieces of art, essentially, because you
Mm.
could you can tokenize technically in real life piece of art and assign value onto it, and potentially with sentiment, sentiment of the artist or sentiment of that collection or whatever it might be, like assign some type of value, tracker value onto it,
Mhm.
sort of, for the distant future, I suppose, right? So
Absolutely, and the good thing about this is it's measuring it across different marketplaces. So it might be pretty difficult if you've just got individual items and it's like only listed in one place. Like an absolute one unique, and also maybe even more difficult if there isn't any previous history on its like transactions, because the tracker needs historic data as well as what is current. So if it's currently listed at 1.25 Ethereum for 12 days, right? There is some kind of weight there to say that it's been there for a while. It's no one's bought it yet at that price, so there must be some devaluation there of its fair value market price. So there's a lot of things in the Flash Tracker, and we are really excited with our partnership with NFT on Chain. They have been around for quite some time, and they are the beginning of AI actually in the industry. So they've already started this way, and we're basically going to be leveraging off some of the some of the back end that they've already created. So
that's super cool. Okay, man, I just gotta know. Sorry, I have questions, guys. I have some questions. So how far do you take that, right? Because in my head, right, I have like an enterprising type of mindset. Okay, how far does Flash want to take Flash Tracker? For instance, you could tokenize supply chain items in stores, right? Like the various SKUs, and with this like tracker tool, essentially give retail stores, whatever it might be, Amazon, for instance. Amazon has a pretty robust backend, right, to say the least, on whether something is selling or something is sitting around, and that's how they rank different NFTs, or different items, different items in category higher than others, right? So like, does it apply? Like, are we talking about tokenizing like milk in the store and it's sitting around, so it's not no, really like that item in that store is not producing the type of turnover that they need to have the distributors
That's right.
to bring in items, right? So are we helping everything?
Yeah, it's really leveraging off real world principles that have existed in those industries already. Like house prices that have been listed for too long. There's a rule when you're selling a house, you shouldn't list for more than a month, because once you list your house online, it's there on the web, right? So if it doesn't get bought straight away, it's a sign that it's not that great, is it? Yeah. So principles like that are being adopted in the tracker, and it's not. It could go as far as we have people to develop really and experiment with. It is in itself its own tool, and that's why I'm really excited to be able to start on that path, because we hope it will be one day the milestone that people work towards in an NFT project. We're listed on the tracker. We got listed on the tracker. That's and that's cool. The establishment of value.
Yeah, super cool. Okay, the other day you were talking to me about method snipers, mempool snipers versus what you guys offer, and I see Ken. Thank you, Ken. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so fascinated. I think this stuff is really cool, right?
Yeah, for sure.
FlashNode. What's FlashNode?
This is a private node. This is a private Ethereum node. And this will allow people to really get ahead of the rest of the market, definitely. We have experimented with lots of different nodes in the past, and some are obviously better than others. But the benefits of having a good node, and there are plenty out there, is that you will decrease your transaction time along with having lower gas spend, and also you just basically be able to mint faster as well. So these two things are really important: the sniping and the minting process, and this is where the gas does come into play. And as much as you want to spend in terms of gas, it's also just as much as wise to spend on an Ethereum node. But we know that it's not accessible to most people. And that's the philosophy behind this, is that we have our own private nodes, which we are partitioning and sharing.
Cool.
Yeah. So people get access to it at different times in their own time zones. And whenever they're using it, we'll monitor and track usage. And all of our servers will be running full blast and allowing people to just basically have access to their own node. So it's basically a tool that everyone needs these days. If you want to really compete, you need a node.
Cool.
Okay. And the last tool in our future developments for the next 12 months, the Swapper. This is really awesome, and I really have found it a great benefit just in theory, because we do this ourselves now amongst our community, where we swap NFTs. These are OTC NFTs. We're swapping with no monetary exchange, no Ethereum exchange. Okay, so the reason this is good is because there's no Ethereum exchange, there is no event, right? There's no lack of trust, right? There's no, there's basically, because there's no Ethereum exchange, it's basically two people working out the value of items together and being like, yeah, I'll give you this for this. Remember back in school, you had your Pokemon cards and you're like, I'll give you this for this, and I'll trade you this for that. It's basically that. It's just a swap of this card. Sometimes this card might be worth 2 of your cards or 3 of your cards. It's just between us to negotiate. And there is no Ethereum exchange. Cool. So you don't need to open market, sell or trade. There's no royalties, and it's free. It's free use. Cool. So you can just, between people in our community, as long as you have a Flash Pass or you're part of the Flash community, you can swap on our platform with anyone else free. No royalties. Because there is no Ethereum transaction taking place.
It adds like more utility to NFTs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll give you 5 doodles for that mutant.
It's been lacking, right? This is seriously been lacking in the industry, because everyone is so hungry to make money and take royalties and commission and all that, and all these marketplaces are literally trying to squeeze people for every percentage that they can get, right? In a down market, it's killing the market. So in this type of industry, especially with NFTs being in a low market right now, these tools are the ones that help really look after the user base. And I feel that this is going to be one of the most attractive features in the FlashTrader platform when it's live, to bring people on and keep people on. You want to bring people to use in the community, but you want people to stay in the community as well, right? So yeah, this will build that for us.
And what is the fee structure for someone looking to use these tools? You mentioned the Flash Pass. Can you talk about that?
Sure. Yes. So at the moment, we have a limited number of Flash Genesis passes on market, and they're super low value at the moment, which is a great time for people to pick up and get into, going ahead to where we're building. So this is a bit of an Easter egg for you guys. Those Genesis passes are going to be super valuable. If you're watching this AMA, I mean, in market right now, they're totally undervalued. We're at the beginning, the cusp of re-entering and building and continuing what we've been doing for the past few months. So yeah, if you want, grab one of those passes, because those Genesis passes will unlock everything for life. Everything we build, you will get from holding that. There will be other releases. But at the moment, those are completely limited. In the future, there are other ways to use our tools, and it's going to be through the Flash token, right, and burning the token itself. And we can go more about that when we do a different AMA about the actual token.
But, that's your burn to use function that's on the website.
Yeah, that's right.
Burn to subscribe.
Yeah. So just touching on that in this AMA, I don't want to go too much into it. I want to save that for the next one. But it's about keeping companies and projects projects like responsible and accountable for what they're doing. You see so many projects these days that just launch a token, take the money, grab the money and build stuff. And then like when they stop building or the token starts going down, they lose motivation and then they just leave the project or abandon it, right?
Yeah.
For us, our entire future is linked to the token itself because people burn that to use it. So, purchasing it and then burning it is always going to show its current real-time value in the market. And that keeps us honest, and it forces us to stay relevant. It forces us to keep building, to keep people buying and burning, because that's the token. That's the value of the token itself.
I mean, it's like ETH, right? You have ETH so that you not only as a means for exchange, right, but to power the transactions, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Our last AMA was a project called No Gas, right? That we're incubating as well. And so, like, one of the things that we've been brainstorming is how to utilize the token, right? So, like, to power the transaction. So I think that it's a great idea. Ty, I don't think I ever minted my Genesis pass. I know that
you could have for sure. Yeah. they minted and they went for like, I don't know, 40K, 30K US right away on the market after mint. Yeah, they were selling at one point.
Oh my goodness.
So that's I mean, definitely grab one now if you're in market. We're still a couple of weeks away, I would say, from there. So from reestablishing all of our vision. So yeah, I'm
grabbing. I know. I kept getting. They were like, "You have to get your Genesis." Budash was like, "Did you get your Genesis pass?" And I was like in a whirlwind of everything that I never got. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll go ahead and
there are more passes coming along, but they won't be Genesis passes. Yeah, so there will be a tier down from that. So the Genesis will obviously unlock everything possible, and the new pass releases that we'll be minting will not have the same levels of access. So
got it.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, Ty, I'll just say one thing, guys. This entire time, I haven't seen many projects out there. Okay, and this, I'll liken it to Yasha. Okay, I haven't seen many projects out there that have continued to just work and bring value to those that are involved in the community and involved in the project. Right, this entire time throughout this bearish downturn or whatever strangeness was going on in the market, and despite price action on the Flash token, the V1 Flash token itself, these guys never stopped. And maybe the token was not going up, however they were getting into like these super secret NFT mints left and right and probably making lots and lots of ETH despite whatever the price action was doing. So I think it's super cool. I've been really excited to move this project forward, and I've been trying to show the Flash community, Ty, that we put the Flash character in our Street Fighter game, but nobody cared. Nobody cared. One day we'll get.
I like it. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I'm really terrible at games, so I mean, I can't play Street Fighter at all. So that's why I'd rather build Street Fighter for people to play.
Yeah, cool. Well, I mean,
I
guys,
have one question for you.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Ken, go ahead.
So it's maybe somewhat tangential, but I believe you're the right person to ask. What do you think about the role of regression analysis in decentralized science?
Interesting question, definitely. Regression analysis or multiplicative regression analysis, R squared, and that type of analysis is a correlation study, right? So it's about finding correlation in data. Now, with science, you're in an experimental industry, so you don't actually have data all the time. So you're always, pursuing new data. So in that sense, regression analysis may not be as effective as a tool for scientific studies and things like that, just simply because the data might not be available yet. So I think, yeah, I guess that's my short answer.
Well, let me follow up with how essential is regression analysis in the ability to price predict the NFTs?
That's really important, and that is definitely part of the tracker for sure. Regression analysis is a historic analysis on behavior of on market sales and transactions and how people perceive a value of a project, right? So the more turnover an NFT sells at, if the price is going up or it's going down during each transaction, the trends that it's having, regression analysis is very, very important there for sure. But at the same time, it will only give a correlation. So it's only a probability of accuracy. It's not necessarily going to, dictate your the future purchases. It's only one angle, one variable of the overall tracker, if you want to call it that. Yeah, so we look at that for sure, but there are many other variables we look at in conjunction, in combination with that, to define an overall probability of what we expect the future price to be.
Thanks, Ty. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for throwing a curveball there.
Dr. Ken actually has a PhD. If I would ever stop, I'm sure you guys would be able to have an intelligent conversation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd love to go deeper. We have a data scientist in our team. I'm not the data guy, but I do understand it all. But at the same time, yeah, he'll probably school me for even talking about it or trying to answer it. He'll be like, no, you said that wrong. That's not how it is. Yeah, but,
no worries. It's my least favorite part of grad school. Least favorite part. But I could. I mean, it's obvious. Well, it's obvious to me that at least some of this project is predicated on understanding what may generate the value, like you said, for instance, in a set of 1,000, to be able to project that out to a full set of 10,000, which is why I was asking the question of how that may be able to be used in other areas of DeSci. But I do appreciate the answer you gave.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for your time.
Hey, Ty, thanks so much. We're glad we could get it done. I'm glad we could get it done, and we're looking forward to hearing the next few steps on when we might be able to open that pre-sale. Excuse me, pre-PG contribution for Yasha people and get the ball rolling. So
yes, we'll pay attention to the market, guys, because that's really important. Bitcoin, how its price action is going at the moment. And yeah, we'll probably set some dates and timelines and announce all of that together.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Ty. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, guys.
You both.
See you all. Bye-bye.
Right. Take care.
And we're done.